Hello everybody, and welcome back to another Proud Adventure. So for today's adventure, I need to change the antenna on my CB radio. Stock from the factory, this is actually a cassette player, but because I switched the radios, I didn't need it anymore. The reason I didn't need it anymore is because when you switch radios, there's not an adapter to have the cassette player talk to a new radio. So once you take the stock radio out, that's it, you're done with it. So I ended up taking it out, and it just happened to fit perfectly. Now, I'm not talking perfectly as in everything behind what you can see is stock. It's not. When I do anything to a vehicle, I like to keep it looking stock, but whether or not it is stock is what I change. So here, it looks like, yes, this is supposed to fit here. Even this plate is down below the ledge here, and so is this one. So everything fits, and it does work. I don't know if anybody's talking right now. They're a little too far out of range. The only issue is when I had my grill guard on it, because I took it off to paint it, and that's going to be a different video if I can get it to work all right. But the problem is with the antenna, when I attached it to the grill guard, I didn't realize it wasn't grounded, so I took it off and put it on the roof, and when I did, and I fed it through to get it to the roof, it broke. So the ground is no good anymore, so I'm not getting the range I should be getting. And I'm going on a trip here soon to pick up a new project, and I'd like to have it just so if something comes up, I'll know about it. So what I'm going to try to do today, I am going to try to change the antenna. I got to take all of this out, and I'm also going to try and get this stuck here. It's just a little tight, so I'm worried that because it's only kind of like a command strip, it ain't going to hold when I go to try and take it off, but I just want it set here. And I just think that's the best place for it. Right now it's just set between the seat. I call this my junkyard toolkit because I literally bought it to go to a junkyard. But it is a 12-point set, and it just comes in handy for a lot of different things. Rounded off, star bits. It's great for star bits. It was just a cheap little set that I picked up at Walmart. And for most of the stuff you go to a junkyard for, this is plenty. So with how I put this CB radio in here, it's not actually mounted. It's just pressure fit. The distance that was required for the cassette player so the distance between this side and this side for the cassette player is different than this one. So it's loose right now, but once I put that back on, as you see, it was perfectly fine. Alright. So just so I don't break it, I'm going to unplug it. Unplug the antenna. And there she is. So I'm just going to feed this antenna out. It goes out the back, through the dash, out the firewall, up the outside of this A-pillar, and then it's sitting on the roof right here. So I'm just going to feed that through and put in my new antenna, and I'll show you all that once I get to it. All right, so now it's ran out of the dash. Now we're gonna go under the hood. All right, so all my stuff comes out of that hole in the firewall right there. And my amp fuse, my lights, my horn, and then I have a lot of relays laying here. I have this fuse block hidden here. It used to have a top, but I lost it, so now it's just open. But everything auxiliary runs through here, and then the power through here is actually wired in. You can take this plastic piece off, and there's a bolt right here that wire right there runs to. This wire here on the right. And I did that because it's after the battery. So I didn't do it here like a lot of people will do on these body styles, because that's coming straight off the alternator. So then, because the alternator doesn't have a chance to send it to the battery, you have problems with stuff inside the truck. So I did it to the bolt that goes to the fuse block, and because it's just another fuse itself, another fuse block itself, it doesn't cause any damage. The only thing that starts doing anything is my amp. If it's too high, you can watch the voltmeter just bounce with the beat. But anyway, this is the antenna cable that I need to pull through. And then I have it ran I did this the other way to put it in, but the reason I'm doing it this way is if I can't get it out this way, I can't put it back in this way. But I really need it to go this way. Just take some finagling. And I would show y'all, but I have a hard time seeing it. But it's just, this is a separate panel from this, from this, from this, from this. Like everything's just joining here, and finding passage is a little bit difficult. We're gonna go with this Stinger 350. It mounts the exact same way. Which is the whole reason I wanted to make sure I could get it out through what I just did, because I'm not going to take this magnet apart. So I'm going to run the antenna cable, run it back to the radio, run everything the way I need to, and we'll see what happens. And if you're watching this as a how-to, I don't know what I'm doing. I will go ahead and be honest with you. This has always been trial and error for me, but it's always fun to do. And I will probably take it to a CB shop so they can tune it, because the antenna and the radio can be tuned, so you get the max out of the radio and the antenna. Alright, so I don't know where my hangers went, so I'm just going to try and use the rod tip of this fishing pole. And that's how you utilize resources. Alright, so what I'm going to do next, because it's partially through the firewall now, is lay here and try and fish it through. I'm trying to show y'all, but that hole is behind a computer, kind of. So trying to get 2 hands and a camera up there, it's going to be difficult. So I'm just going to show y'all once I'm done. So that light that you see is outside in the engine bay on the other side of the firewall. There's that little cone-shaped grommet, and I've pulled the antenna wire through it. So now I just got to put that grommet back. And grommet is back in place. All right. Now antenna, because I have more length on that than I do the power cable. All right. Let's just test it real quick. So power's on. So that's good. There we go. Can't even tell it ain't supposed to be there. Alright everybody, so that's going to be it for this week's video. As you can see, the antenna is still on the roof. I ended up bending the tree limb so it wouldn't hit it anymore. I did get the antenna and the CB tuned, and I had to take the spring out of it because it was too tall. When he tuned it, he said try taking it out, see what happens, and it tuned right. So I did end up taking that out. So that's going to be it for this week's video. I hope y'all enjoyed it. I hope y'all join us next week for another Valdez adventure, and I hope y'all have a blessed day.